Advanced, and today we are going to start from where we left. So we were doing this class-based thing, and we're going to start from we have just done the basic I think props. We have done the props and how to destructure the props, but we have not done it's still started with the state. So start with the state, and this is a 4-day course. So tomorrow there is no class. It is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so it is like that. And let me share my screen. Okay, so hope you're all able to see. Let me also do one thing. So hello all, let me see. Hello all is going. Okay, so hello all is going. So let me wait a bit. I will start it in my mobile also, so that if someone of you comment, I will be able to reply to that, because on I have to start it somewhere. Okay, and one more thing, certificate will be given if you attend all 4 days. Certificate will be given at that time. So hello Tamir and all. So this is the day 2, and day 1 is available on our site, on our YouTube channel, so you can always see that. Okay, so this is what we had done, and we had learned a bit of class based, and this is what we had done. Let me increase the font size so that it is visible on mobile screens also. So this is there, and this is what we had done. Props, we were passing the props, we were and destructuring the props also. And today we're going to learn a very important concept in React, which is known as state. And we are first starting with the state-based React, but as I've told, the hook-based React is nowadays, if you're going to start today, you're going to start with hook-based. But this hook-based thing, we are going to start, see, in the last day. Hook-based is very small. Okay, so that is there. And let us go ahead and look into state. What is state? So for this, what I am going to do here, I'm going to create a new component. So for that, I'm going to comment out all of these things. So I'll comment out all of these things. I will comment out all of these things, and a new component will be done, and the component name will be counter.js. Counter.js. Maybe I'll make this a bit small and make this a bit larger. Counter.js I'll do, and this will be class based. So we are going to use that shortcut, and that shortcut is RCE, and I have to delete this thing. So as I've told yesterday also, so this is that thing. So I'll save it, then I have to import it here. So I will come here and do a counter like this, and this counter will be shown. So it is hot reloading will be done, and the only the counter is being shown. So in this we are going to show the counter, and for that we're going to have, okay, so classes have something known as state also. So constructor, not a state, constructor also. So like ES6 classes in our previous JavaScript advanced to master, we have shown ES6 classes. So this ES6 classes, we have shown that constructors are also there. So constructor is there in React also, but it is not mandatory to do the constructor. So but we, if you want to give a state, you need the constructor. So we'll do that. So R const I'm going to do, and this dot state I will write it as count give. So what is this thing like constructor props and this super props? So this is something to hello hello Damir, hello, you don't know. Okay, so yeah, that's a good username of YouTube. Okay, so this constructor props and super props. See, those who know bit of Java, or those who know this, see, we are doing inheritance here, extends from components, which is created by Facebook team. Okay, extend from this is created by Facebook team, and we can see the code also, because everything is like open source. We can see that also. So that is there, but why is super pop? So if you know a bit of inheritance, you know that whatever the parent class is there, we use a super keyword there. So super keyword we use for that, and props is like coming because we are able to use props in React. Okay, so props in a class-based component and all, it is coming because of that. Plus props we can of course use in function also, which we have seen earlier. But this is like this, but this you can treat it as a boilerplate code. Okay, now this part, what is this part? This part is where the magic of React is. This is why React is there. This is why React is so popular. State, this state is a local thing. Okay, so state doesn't goes outside. State is a local phenomena. Okay, so this dot state, we are taking this dot state again. Those who have done a ESS class, or let me explain it again. So what is this keyword? I'm not going to go deep dive into this keyword. This keyword is a very complicated topic in JavaScript. In fact, a whole book is there in this keyword, and we don't want to go that deep in JavaScript to know React to start our project. We don't want to go that deep. So what is this dot state? Why we are taking this dot state? And state is a keyword instead of why cannot. Okay, and one more thing, I will use this this like segment, and then I'll do a React fragment I have used, and then I'll use the count is equal to this dot state dot count. So I've used this dot count is equal to this dot state dot count. So why I've used like this, and this dot state dot count, because this dot state is an object, and I can the main intention is to get the 0, what is the value. So this is how I will get it. But again, why we use this keyword here, this dot state, and not something like var state? Why don't we use something like this? Because even var is a functional scope. Means var is like, people say it's a global, but it's a functional scope, and constructor is a function, so it would not go outside it. So that's why we cannot use var. So that's why you use this keyword in React and in JavaScript and a lot inside a classes main. So this have got access to a lot of different places. You can access this here also, we can access this here also. So this is the state is there. And state, as I've told, state is a keyword. State is not like that anything you can take. Instead of the state, you cannot take anything else. State is a keyword and state is an object. Okay, so this is how you're done. But the main thing of state doesn't just stops here. The main thing of a state is that we can change the state. So I will have a button like this, and inside this button I will write increment. I'll write, and then I will come here and write a on click. Again, a thing is specific to React. On click handler. There is a on click handler is there. So what is this on click handler? In a plain JavaScript we write like add event listener and all. So those complicated things are not there. React is 100 times easier than vanilla JavaScript code. Okay, so that is it. On click handler will happens. A click handler will be there. The moment I will click here, this will fire something, and this will fire, most probably you will take it to a function. So I'll write a function as this dot increment count. So this is an increment count. I'll write. I'll save it. Now button is there, which will keep on listening for some event listener. So this is what increment count. I will go, and this increment count I will write. Increment count is a function of this class, and then I want to update the state. So I want to update the state. How do I update the state? So, but obvious question is like, I can update the state like this dot state dot count equal to this dot state dot count plus 1. I can update the state like this, but we don't update the state like this. I'm going to soon tell you why we don't update the state like this. So I will just now comment it out, but we're going to see. We actually update the state through a state variable, and that state variable is this dot set state. These are set, again a keyword. These are set state, and in this I'm going to pass a object. This is a function in which I'm going to pass an object like this, and then it is like a count is this dot state dot count plus 1. Count is this dot state dot count plus 1. Okay, so again the same thing, like count I'm increasing like this. Okay, because this is an object, so object count value I'm increasing like this. Okay, save it. Now everything is okay here, but there is an issue here. Okay, so if in this console I'll go and I will click on this increment, I got an error. Cannot read properties undefined. Actually, this is undefined here. This is a complicated logic in not React but in JavaScript. Although this is applicable, this can be used at very different places throughout this program. But then also sometimes that this becomes like undefined. Here, the compiler is not understanding what is this. It loses its scope. So there are actually 4 ways to fix this thing, but we are going to look into that later on. But the one way to fix it, okay, why do we want to look into that later on? So let us see it now. There are 4 different ways to solve this issue, then only we will go forward. Okay, let us first solve this issue, and then why this issue is coming. Actually, say I'll do, and what I will do. Okay, so this issue is coming because the console log of this I'll do. Okay, so I'll save it. Now if I clear it, I again click it. See, this is there, but this keyword is undefined. This keyword is undefined, so that is the issue here. So there are 4 ways to solve this issue, and let us look into this 4 ways, and we only do it through one way. Okay, so the first way, it is a bit of old way to solve it, is like this dot increment count. There is a bind function in, not in React but in JavaScript, and that's main thing is to bind the this keyword. Okay, so dot bind this. Okay, so it means that bind the this keyword with this function. So I'll do this and save it. Now I'll clear it, and now when I increment it, it is also incrementing, and it is showing that this keyword is the counter. This keyword at all the instance should be the class name. Okay, so this is like the class name, it is done. So this is one way to solve it. The other way to solve it is actually, I will, what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment it out so that you can have this code later on. Okay, code, I think GitHub link I will give. Okay, so that is there. The other way is to do it like this. Here I'm not do this here, like here I will not do. I'll come here and I'll do this dot increment count equal to this dot increment count dot bind this. So this is the method number 2 to solve these things. Okay, so I will do it, and again incrementing, and this is equal to console.log, this is equal to the counter. This is the method number 2. Now there is the method number 3. Method number 3, these two are actually very old method. React was released in 2013. It get popularized in 2015. So these methods are way back 2015. But after that, arrow function came, and arrow function are like a special function in which the this keyword is always binding to the class. Okay, so the other way, actually I will show, is, and I comment it out, is like I will have a function, okay, arrow function, and I will, and one more thing, I will comment this out here so that it is not coming into play. So I will call it like this. This method, we are not going to use this method much, but sometimes we are going to use this method. Okay, so I will do this, and now again I'll click it and see this counter is there like this. So this is method number 3. But the method number 4 is something which we are going to use blindly, and we are going to use every time, and that method is like okay, so that method is, what happened, we'll leave it as it is. Okay, but we'll make this function as a arrow function. This function itself, I'll make it as an arrow function. Now this method we can use blindly. Every function from now onwards in a class or function, you should make an arrow function and it will work fine. So this is how it is working fine. So that is there. Those are the 4 methods. So let us get back to what we were there, and 1.6. Okay, so we will get back. So where were we? Okay, so we will see first thing that this I will comment out, and why we actually need this thing. So I will comment this out, and I will do this, and ng this.count I'll do, and then save it. Now, so instead of this dot set state, I have done directly like this. Let us see whether this will work or not. I'll increment it. See, the state value is incrementing, but why the count is not incrementing? Count is not incrementing because the state value will get incremented. But this dot set state has got a special property. This render method which you are seeing, this dot set state actually re-renders this thing. It rerun this thing. It will rerun this thing. The moment I do this set state and count value, it actually this passes, this control passes from here to the render method. This control passes from here to the render method, and it refreshes it, sort of refreshes it, but it will not show here. It sort of refreshes it, but it will not show. This is the thing which is known as virtual DOM. It does this thing behind the scene. Okay, so that is something which happens. So we cannot do like this in React. Whenever we change state, we have to change with this something known as this dot set. So even in the hooks, also we have like this set state kind of a concept. Okay, I'll save it. Now let us go back, and now again I will increment. Okay, it is incrementing fine, but since we had opened this thing, I have seen one more issue here. Okay, so which we had not seen earlier. It is not causing any problem. But see, 8, it is 8, this is 7, this is 8, this is 9, so it is always one step ahead. So why this happens? So because React is very fast, the moment it sees this dot set state, it goes from here in the render and it will show this thing. It will not go to the line number 18. But suppose I want the line number 18 to be executed before it goes there. And in a lot of time production, what happens, I want to run some function before this passes the control to the render. So I have seen those things in productions a lot. Okay, so that is there, and I will come here, and there is a way. This takes a second parameter in which I will have this thing and console log here. So you can have some other function also call here. I'll save it now. It is implementing properly. So what is happening here? This dot set state is going here, updating the state variable, console logging it, then going to the render. So this is like this, it is working. So that is there. Now the last thing here in the state, what we are going to learn is let's have another button here, button like here, and increment 5 and on click is equal to, I guess, or this dot increment 5, like this I'll call, and all the function you should make it as a arrow function. So or else we have to do this extra step. And what I will do here, this dot increment count I will call. So 5 times on call, save it. Now this increment 5 is there, and let us come here and do this increment. So it is working fine. But if I click here, see, it is increasing only by 1. Again it is increasing by 1, again it is increasing by 1, but this 5 shows that it is running 5 times. It is running 5 times. It is incrementing by 1 but running only 5 times. So why this thing is happening, why this weird behavior is happening? This behavior is happening in React because React is doing something like a performance optimization. Okay, performance optimization, what? React is used in the biggest sites on this planet like Facebook, Insta, and all those things. It has been used. All the non-Google sites it is used. Okay, because Google uses Angular in the front end, but everybody else in the world except Google uses React in the front end. So Facebook, Insta, and all those things uses this thing, React in the front end. So what happens for them? Performance optimization is very important. So performance optimization is what? Like Flipkart big billions days are going on right now. So Flipkart also uses React. Everybody uses React. Okay. So earlier, when 5 years back when Flipkart big billion days was going on, Flipkart site used to crash because of the load. So they have to do a lot of performance optimization, not only the DevOps part, in the front end also. So React also try to help in something like that. When in React the render is okay doing every time, but a render, if you do a lot of render, it slows down the site, especially in sites which have like more than 100,000 lines of codes. It slows down them a lot. Okay, so what happens here, it slows down that thing. So what React do, it does some performance optimization on its own. What performance optimization it does? It does performance optimization, like if you see that this set state is been run at a very fast pace, at a very frequent interval. It sees that there is some problem. So if that is run at a multiple time, render will run at multiple time. So what will happen? Render will run at multiple time, the site gets slow. I've seen sites getting slow, very big production sites getting slow because it's render running multiple times. But here I want the render to run multiple time. Here it was not an issue, but React didn't got it. React does its own performance optimization when it sees that this dot set state is been called multiple time at a very quick succession. But this is not an issue. So how do I solve it? So for those cases, React say, okay, if it is not an issue, then you have to use a special type of state, which is known as previous state or previous state. So previous state I will do, and previous state is like a different kind. Okay, in previous state I have to do this count is prev state dot count plus 1, previous state dot count plus 1. Is there? I'll clear it, and now I'll save it, and now you'll see this increment is working fine, and this is also working fine. So this is what is all about the state. Okay, so there is there. Now, okay, so we are done with state. Mm, hi everyone. So now we're done with the state concept, and this is a very important concept. And the next concept which we are going to do here is, okay, is known as method as props. Okay, method as props. Why method as props? It is known as, see, React is a JavaScript library. It is not a full-fledged framework like Angular. Angular, you have to learn a lot of things. Okay, Angular, you have to learn a lot of things. But the thing is that React doesn't have lots of those things. Like there is something known as the two-way binding in Angular. I am not telling you to learn Angular. Two-way binding in Angular, through which what happens, uh, from parent to child the contact can be done. See, uh, what is my use case right now, and which is a very important use case. We have seen that when I wanted to pass some props from a parent to the child, I was passing it to like name JavaScript. I was passing from here to the child, like there. But what if I want to pass the data from the opposite direction, from a child to the parent? There is no way in React to do those things. There are some complicated ways are there. Like one way is the Redux, one way is the context API, which context API we're going to learn, because Redux is not a React thing that I don't teach in this course. That I used to teach in some uh, Redux certification also I used to take sometimes back. So that is that you can see that thing. Redux, I have a lot of things on the channel. So and context API, as I told, we are going to learn later on. But how do I send a in the opposite direction? Let us first create the opposite direction, and for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here in the component. I'm going to go and do parent component dot js, parent component dot js, and here I'll do a child component dot j. Oh, something wrong. J is not nothing, so it is js, not js, and it was asking me what is this dot j. Okay, so parent component is there. So parent component, I will come and do a rce, and then I'll cut it, and this I'll do, and then this I will do a r const is there, like this, and Okay, so hope you are all able to see me now. As I've told, sorry, my system got restarted, and I'm back now. I am back now. So I'm back now. I don't know how this Mac got restarted. Okay, so that was there. And so where were we? So we were learning method as props. Okay, method as props. As I told, it is like the data will come in the opposite. How it will come in the opposite. So I have created a parent, and in this parent, I will have a this dot state. I will have a parent name is Robin Hood. Okay, parent name is Robin Hood. And then what I'm going to have here in the parent component, I will have a function called greet parent like this. And then let us make it an arrow function, or else it will do some issue later on. And here I will have a alert and hello dollar this dot state dot parent name. So hello is there. Now here what I'm going to do, let me go to the child component now. And child component will be just a functional component, because this will not have a concept of state. Okay, and this will have a button, like button, and this button will be greet parent will be there. Okay, greet parent will be there. So super props, I have already told Shailesh, super props is something which is required, because we are using something known as inheritance here. Okay, so super props is a boilerplate code which is required. Super props is a boilerplate code because we are doing inheritance here, so it is required. So I told earlier also. Okay, so that's we have told now earlier. So greet parent is there, and then from this div, what I'm going to call the child component. I'm going to call the child component here. Okay, so child component I'm calling, and I will save it. Okay, I will save it. And but I'm not even calling this parent from here, so I will call the parent from here. Parent component I'm calling from here. I'll call this maybe I'll comment this out. Maybe I'll comment this out. So that is there. And why it is not showing? Is my npm start? Oh, my system got restarted, so nothing is working. One sec. Okay, so instead of this, I will open it from the integrated terminal. So npm start I'll do, and npm start, it will show it like this. So yeah, we can do npm start from here also, from the terminal also we can do. So that is there. And right now the main thing is like this from this child component, from this child component, I want to pass data from the child component to the parent component, which is in the opposite direction, from the child component to the parent component in the opposite direction. So how do I pass it from parent to child? If I want to pass, how do I pass the parent to child? I pass it to props, easy. But this is not easy. From a child to parent, it is not easy. So how do I pass it? So for that, first thing what I'm going to do, and what I want to do, I want to call this function like this greet parent function from the child. So here, if in the child component, I'll pass this thing is known as method that props for a reason. So greet handler I'll pass, and this will be written as this dot greet parent, the function name. This dot greet parent, the function name is this dot greet parent is there. I'll save it. Now in the child component, what I'm going to get, I'm going to get a props. Okay, I'm going to get a props in the child component. So this props is there in the child component. And after this, what is there? here I will call a on click handler. On click handler I'll call, on click handler I'll call, and then I'll do a props dot, what is the props name I'm passing? Props dot greet handler. Props dot greet handler is the props name. Props dot greet handler is the props name I am passing. So what will happen here? So I'm doing a on click here, and on click is calling this props, and this props is what? This props is calling this function. On click is calling this props, and this props is calling this function. So if I click on this grid parent, see, hello Robinhood is coming. So it is in the opposite direction. I have just created a pipeline. I'm not passing the data yet. I've just created a pipeline. I'm not passing the data yet. Just created a pipeline in the opposite direction. Now I want to pass the data. So how do I pass the data? So the data I will pass through another way, which I have just now shown another way to call a arrow function. And there is a benefit to call that arrow function in that. And that benefit is known as like this. That benefit is known as, if I call it like this, I can pass some argument here, and that argument can be treated as a string. I'm passing some argument here. So what argument I'm passing here? So anything I can pass here. So maybe I will pass a, so he thing. I'll pass this argument here, and it is something similar to, see, I was passing a string here. I'm passing a string here. The communication is already been established. So now what I am going to get here is the child here is there, and hello this from dollar child I'll do, and I will save it. So okay, so because I'm passing this as a parameter, so I'm getting this in this function. So I will write this greet parent, hello Robinhood from, so this thing is coming. So the main thing is that this is coming, okay, this is coming from a child to a parent. So I'm passing the data in the opposite direction. I can pass. So that is the main thing. Okay, so that is the main thing. So this is there. Now the next thing which we are going to do is your list rendering. Okay, so we are going to do the list rendering. So how to do the list rendering, and let us do that list rendering. Okay, so in React, what happens, the list rendering is generally done through maps. Okay, not through for each or something. We do it through maps. So let us do it. So what we are going to do, so see, soon we are going to learn how to do like API calls. API call is the main thing which a front-end engineer should learn, which we are going to learn. So API calls are what? So there are certain, so like this JSON placeholder. If I do this JSON placeholder post is there. So there are certain sites, like the whole internet actually works like this, 6:30 to 7:30. The whole internet actually works like this. Okay. So it is like 7:30 because it happens every day like that, 7:30 p.m. So it is a 4-day thing. Okay. So like what I'm going to do. So this API calls are there. So this, what is this API? This is not a normal site. Okay, this API is not a normal site. What is this API then? So this API is something which is getting the data from a backend like MongoDB or something like this. Okay, so it is actually getting a data from MongoDB most probably, and it is created in languages like in Node.js, Java, or something. So we never like get the data directly from the, like the front end never directly contacts with the database. There is always something like Java or Node.js which writes the backend. We don't have to learn much about it because we're not learning backend and all. It's a whole different technology. But these things are known as API endpoint. The whole internet works like this. Even Amazon works like this. So there is a fake API store is there. And then there is a product is there. And see, the Amazon, the array of object will come, and it will come like this. Okay, it will come like this. The array of object, it will come like this. Amazon also. So that is there. Now the thing is there. We are going to let's see something real. Let's see how to do this thing. So let's see that thing. So now what I'm going to go here, and create a new list post. Okay, I will create a new list post list post.js file, and it's okay for it to be a functional component. It is okay. So because we're not going to use state and all, this is a different call logic. This I'm showing how we are going to map through something, and this is how we are going to get a data most of the time. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take these three things here, because we didn't know how to do API call yet. We are going to learn API call later on. After lifecycle methods only we can do API call. Most probably we are going to learn on Thursday. So I will have a const post like this is there, and then I'll do like this, and it is become a bit bigger. So let us remove some of the things here. The user ID is something which is not required, and I'm not going to not use, so I'm going to remove it. Maybe this one also I will make it a bit smaller so that it is shown on the screen. So I'll make it a bit small, and I will make this like this much. I will make this like this much. I will make this like this much. Okay, and I will make this like this much. So I made a bit small, so this post is there. So I want to loop through this post. Okay, let me also make it like, right. So array of object is the main way to travel data in the internet, and how we are going to loop through it. Okay, so let us first understand how do we loop through it. So we loop through it. Okay, I will have only one statement, so I'll return this thing. So we can loop through it like post dot map, post dot map. We loop always through map. Okay, in React. Okay, post dot map. Then I will do a post. This post. Okay, post I'll do arrow function. So that's the reason I told that these are very important, very easy to use in React. Okay, map and all. These have got single line codes, and that single line codes are very important in React. Single line codes are very much used and loved in React. Okay, so you'll see that thing. So let us do this post, and let us first see whether it is coming or not, and what I am going to do. So I am going to do maybe a div. Okay, not dispatch, of course. Maybe h1 I'll do and in this h1 I'll do post dot title. I'll do post dot title. I'll do, and if I'm not showing this list post yet, so I will comment this out. I will do a list post. I'll do save it. I will save it now. Come see this list post is been shown. Okay, so all the title, how this happened. Post.map, post will contain each of the object. When it will loop, post will contain each of the object. As we know in map, if you send an array of length 3, I will get an array of length 3 only back. Then what I'm doing, this h1, I'm taking an h1 and getting the post dot title only, and I'm showing it in the h1. So these three times is there. Okay, so this three times it is there. Post dot title. Thank you, Adinana Reddy. Okay, thank you. Okay, so post dot title, so h1. So this is actually how React works. So we take everything in an array, and then we use map, and then we use the any HTML thing, tag and all, any HTML thing. So this is also which makes a React code very small. If you are going to do the same thing in JavaScript, maybe we have to do this 3 times, but it is very easy to do it in React if you have a array. So and we use this map, and then we insert the HTML code in that. But generally this kind of code, we have another code here. Okay, we have another thing to be called here, and we take this to a different component. So let us do that thing. So what I'm going to do here, instead of doing this thing, because I want to show all these three things, I want to show. So I will now go here, and I will create a new component called post item.js. Then RAFCE is there, and then I will come here, and here I will, what I'm going to do here, I'll save it. I'm going to come here back, and here I will, for each of the object I'll pass to this post item. Okay, so this post item is also called, I pass to this post item. Okay, I think I forgot to tell one thing. Okay, even before this post item, let me go back here. There is an error here. Okay, so I forgot to tell that error. So that error is not a big error, but it is. Okay, so if I go to the console, I will get a warning, very big warning. Each child in the list should have a unique key proxy. Where it is it is okay to use map in React. Okay, okay, but React also says that React, as I told, the performance optimization is a very important thing. Okay, so what React says, whenever you use map, you loop through something. I need something unique, and most of the time when you get something from the database, there is a ID is always been sent. If your database is MongoDB, then a unique ID is sent, ID is saved. If a database is SQL, then also a unique ID is sent. And generally, the backend engineer always send the ID along with the API. So he or she will always send that thing. So we can use that thing. So here, if I give this key equal to post.id, why it is important post.id? Because ID is here, like, what is id? Id is unique here. So if I refresh it, see, I will not get any error. This is how it is there. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to send it to the post item. So post item, maybe I will directly write it. Okay, so post item is gone. Post item, I'll call this post item, and I don't want to close it like this. I want to have it like a self closing, like this. I want to have. Okay, it's always better to do it from the start, or else we get some error like this. Okay, so post item I'll call, and I'll close it, so it is better. Then I also have to do the key, because or else it will get an error. So key equal to post dot id, and post equal to post. So I'm passing the whole post, which is actually an object. I'm passing the whole post, which is actually an object. I'm passing it here. So it is showing this 3 times because I have not used it here. So this whole post I'm getting is there. So I will use it. I'll just destructure it and use it in this post. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll it, and then I'm going to go here and do h1 is go h1, and I'll show the id. I'll show the all the 3 things. Okay, id will be post dot id, then h3, maybe h3. The main next thing is title. I'll show title. I will show title is equal to post dot title, and the last thing I will show a paragraph containing a post dot body. Okay, so like this, post dot body. So I'll save it and see, it will be shown like this. It will be shown like this. Okay, so that is there. Now the next thing we'll be learn about styling in React. Now you'll think like styling is like done through app.css. Okay, it is done through app.css, but that is only the one way. It is done through some other ways also, and we're going to do the styling in this post item.js. Okay, so here what I am going to do, the post item, I will create another file. In React, generally we create a CSS file with the same name, and it's a capital letter, like so post item dot css I'll do. And here what I'm going to do here, so maybe this I will make it as a div, and class name equal to container. So as I told earlier, we use class name instead of class, so this is there. So we can also this container, I will use it here, dot container, and then background color is light gray. Save it. So light, but it will not show because I have to import it, then only it will show. So import dot post item dot css I'll do, and save it. And now see, it has been shown. So let us add some more css here. Bit of id is 10 pixel, so that it contains like a margin bottom, maybe 5 pixels. Save it. So it is like this. It has been shown. Okay, so post item is this is one way, it's the most common way, but there is inline css also in React. But inline css is a bit different than what we generally have it in your HTML, CS, HTML. Okay, it is a bit different. So inline CSS, for inline CSS, what I'm going to do is first get an object like const h1 styled style, h1 style equal to, like this I'll do, and then font size. Okay, okay. Thing is that font size is 20 px, comma, or background 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐜𝐚𝐿, color is yellow, and padding is 10 pixel or 5 pixel. So we have done this thing like this. Okay, object I created. See, this is an object. Now how I will use it here? So I'll come here and do a style tag. So style tag we have in HTML also, style tag, and then here I have to just give this h1 style. Style we will do, and I'll save it and see it has been done. So this is how we do it. Okay, so there is 2-3 differences here. Okay, so first thing is that, see this h1 style, first thing is that this is an object. In CSS this is actually not an object, because object cannot have this semicolon, so it has this semicolon. And the other thing is this font size, background, but they're all camel case. In CSS we have this dash thing is there, it is camel case. Another thing is that right hand side of an object, in this thing, it is always a string. Even if this 20 px I have to give it inside a string, yellow I have to give it inside a string, 5 px I have to give it inside a string. Here I was not giving it inside a string, so there is a difference. There are two difference. Okay, so that is there. Now the other thing here is that how do, generally you see this, people love this inline styling, but they will not use it in this way. Well, how they are going to use, they are going to use it like they are going to copy this all. Okay, and then in st style I'll do a style equal to this single quotes attribute, and they will paste like this, they are going to use it. Okay, so maybe I'll get rid of this background color. Background color is like maybe pink. Okay, and adding is 5 pixel, so background color is pink and 5 pixel is done. And you generally see that everybody loves to have this in the same line. Okay, like this they will have, and you'll see most of the time people will use like this only CSS. Okay, so that is how they are going to use. Okay, so that is there. And one sec. Okay, so okay, one more thing, let me also share today's attendance form. Day 2 attendance, as I've told, you have to fill all days attendance to get the participation certificate. So this is day 2 attendance. One sec, let me see if someone is watching it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also one of a major platform, so people watch it on LinkedIn, and I don't want them to miss this chance. Okay, so one sec. Oh, it's not going on my LinkedIn. Okay, no problem, it is not going on LinkedIn. Maybe, okay, no problem. Okay, so that is there. Now the one more thing which we are going to do is like okay, so we are going to do something known as a controlled component. Okay, in React what is there, and React, how we show a form, it is a bit different and it is a bit interesting also. And in JavaScript also form was always a pain. Okay, so that is there. So in React it is a bit totally different. Okay, so I will come here and let me close these things, and then I will create a new component known as demo form.js. Demo form.js I'll do, and then Here I have to do it a functional component like this. I will do, and then I will come here and do a R constructor, and here, so we need to create a form. Okay, so for the form we need to have some fields. So let me also have this demo form here. So form demo form, I will comment out this thing, save it. Now first anyways I'm not going to use this first key. I'll have this user name is like this empty string. Username is like this empty string. I'll have, okay, username is this empty string. I will have, now I will have a, instead of this div I will have a form. I will have a form like this, and inside this form I'll have a div, because I want everything to be in a different line. I'll have a label. Okay. Again, another thing, another difference from your normal HTML. HTML have a for element. Okay, for tag, for attribute. Okay, so which is used to connect it to the input. Okay, but here for we cannot have, because for is a keyword in JavaScript. For is a for loop. So we React has put something known as HTML for. So then we'll have a user name here, and then it will be user name. If you want to see more about this for and all this thing, please see one of our HTML classes. Okay, so that is there. Then I will call the input type is text, id equal to, id should be same as the for, so username. But here we have something else also. So value equal to this dot state dot username. In React we don't have the name concept. Okay, value is this dot state dot username. I'll save it. Okay, I have this username is there. Okay, and then this dot state dot username I will have. Now what I am going to have here, why James is been shown here, why James is been shown, this is a bit weird. Okay, it was automatically clicked. Okay, so that's why the James was mentioned. Okay, so that is there. But the thing is that in React, although I've told that we'll use this username to update it and all, so this is not whole thing. If I come here and try to write something, see, I'm trying to write something, but I'm not able to write it. I'm not able to write anything here. So why I'm not able to write anything here? Again, to do with the thing that this render only runs when it is running again. When it is running again, then only this render function will run. So to solve that issue, what we need to do, we need to have a on change handler here. On change handler will fire the moment someone types on the input box. On change, on change equal to this dot handle change. This dot handle change will be there. Okay, so that is there. Now this dot handle change is there. Handle, maybe handle user change I'll do. Handle user change, and then I'll go here and this handle user change equal to e, because event, see, this is e is something known as for JavaScript it will come. So this dot set state is user name is e dot target dot value, e dot target dot value. Now I don't know why James is coming every time. Okay, so now I can write anything. Nabeen, do I'll write. So how this is actually happening? The moment I type n here, what will happen? Okay, then let me come from the start. When this component loads, the first time the username is empty string. So this dot state dot username is empty string. Then the moment I type n, first time I type n here, so this dot handle user change will on change will fire. This will call this function handle user change. In this e dot target dot value will be this n. So this dot set state username will be equal to n. When username will be equal to n, when this dot set state is called, this will re-render this. This will rerun this render. This render will run again. So now the username is value is this dot state of the username is n. So n will be there. Now a I will type again. So this loop will round and round and round and round. The loop will run. So this is how this is there. So now let us see two more things, and some of the things you can do, like one of the thing like checkbox and radio boxes. It's a very cool thing to do, so you can do it. I'm not going to show those things, so there are a lot of things. Okay, so I will now, the next thing which I will have is the comment. So again, the same song and dance we have to do. Comment like this I'll do, and then suppose I want to have a text area right now. Okay, so but comment, 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 comment. Then this will be TEXTAREA, text area. ID will be comment, but text area doesn't end like this. Text area and like this. It have to have a ending like this for text area. Comment this dot value dot comment. Shit. So comment is this dot state dot comment, and on change we have to call a different function, handle comment change, handle comment change, and copy this thing and paste it, and handle comment, handle comment change, and this is comment is e.target.value. I'll save it. See, this comment is coming. Let me have a br here, so it is like now here also I can type it like this, it will be there. So now we will see one last thing here, like uh, drop down menu I want to show. Okay, so drop down menu and label HTML for lang language. Let us do the complete thing. So language language. So drop down are used with the select. So select I will have name. We don't have it in React, but it is showing me this for the HTML, so it is showing me the name. So instead of this name I will have the value equal to this dot state dot language, and on change is equal to this dot. So this is a problem that you again make, again handle lang change, again do these things, again do this CHANGE, this dot handle change, handle lang change, and then we'll have this op. Maybe I'll have this as a bit smaller, I don't want it so big. Okay, so I will have this option I'll have, value will be react, and this will be react. Maybe I'll have react native, react native, angular, view, I'll have all these things. Okay, so all these things I'll have, and I will save it. I'll have this drop down. Okay, by default React, the first thing will be there, and I forgot to do one thing, and that is this language. I have to add it here also. So language, I will add it here. Language is like whatever value I want, I can give the initial value. Maybe I'll write the view, so that by default view is been selected. Okay, so view I'll write it here. So by default view is selected, and we can select anything else also. So that is how it is. It will work, and it will. Okay, one thing I forgot to do is this handle lang change. Again, I forgot to do this. It's the same thing we have to do. I'll come here and do a handle lang change. Handle lang change is this language is e.target.value. I will save it. Now it will work. So now the final thing which I need is the submit button. So button type submit or input type submit, anything will work. So maybe I will do this. I every time do this input type submit. So I will do a button. It is not a normal button. It have to be a submit. Whenever we have a button inside a form, we should always have it of type equal to submit. So the reason is that the enter also start working. Okay, submit. SUBMIT, type submit. So that forms, we don't have an on click here, so we don't need an on click here, we can have an on click in the form. Okay, so on submit equal to this dot handle SUBMIT, handle submit. Okay, and this is a function, so I'll go to this handle submit, save it, and then handle submit will again take a event, and let us directly show this this dot state. So this dot state will actually contain all these three values, so that we can, and most of the time you'll see that from here only it will go to the backend, like API call. I mean, we're going to maybe use this later on again, so we're going to see that it will come like this. Okay, so let me come here and go to the console, and okay, so that is there, and let me provide something. This is like something, and I'll do Angular React Native and submit it. Submitted it, got submitted, but it suddenly refreshed, because, and this is not a React issue, this is a JavaScript issue, because by default submit, what it does, it refreshes the browser. So in JavaScript also we write a piece of code known as e dot prevent default default. So this is the JavaScript thing also we do. So now we'll go Bindu, and this is good, and this is React, and this is submit, and see now Bindu, this is good, and React is going, and this is how from here we'll do the API call, and we can send to the API call. So this is a very, very important piece of code. Please go through it. I will push the code also in the your GitHub today and post it. Okay, so that is there, and hope you like this class. And class based will record one more class, and then after that we are going to go into hook based, and in 4 days we're going to complete everything. So hope you liked it. Okay, thank you Adina, and please do subscribe to the channel. Please do like this video, and please do tell your friends also, college friends also, to subscribe to this channel, and we keep on doing these things, so we help creating everyone a web app developer. We have done a crazy 12-hour bootcamp recently. If you've not seen it, please see it. So nobody had done on YouTube like a 12-hour live bootcamp. We did a 12-hour live bootcamp. YouTube, you'll find 16 hours long bootcamp and all this. Those are all recorded. This was live. This took a like a lot of effort from us, our side, and we're planning to do again. And next month we are planning to do towards the end of the month, because it's required a lot of planning, lot of teamwork, and all those things. Okay, so with this I'll end today's stream. We are going to have the next stream on Thursday. When tomorrow I'm going to do some premiere. Okay, some premiere will be there. Stay tuned. There will be some premiere on the channel. There is always something on the channel always going on. Okay, thank you all, bye.